Sign up today.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the January 7th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what these bulls and bears, what these buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but much more important than that. And that is that during this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can call on in, 877-927-6648. If you can't call in, we've got you covered there too. You can always send me an email. Do it early, steve@tfnn.com. And inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, in our Tiger's Den, well, any and all pings will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Thirsty Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, all the indices trading to the upside, with the exception of the spot volatility index. The Dow is up 293, about 0.75%. 31,069 is the print. S&P is printing at 37.99. That's about 52 points up. The NDX 100 up a little over 2%, 267 points, 12,889. Russell is up a little 1 6/10%, another 33 points. The upside trading at 2091. Semis trading out at 29.13. They're up 3%. So big movers and shakers. I'll tell you what we want to do first. Only have one question in the queue. This one is coming from, well, we've got two now. That's good. But the first one coming in from Hector and his fuel injector. And they want to take a look at Triple D, which is having that's 3D Systems out here, having a gigantic move. Closed last night at 10.89 and now trading out at $23 and change out there. So the question goes like this. Been holding this for a long time. On a monthly basis, if DDD can close about 23.70 this month with big volume, is this thing headed for $33? Well, let's go take a look at our set of tools out here. We'll look at our three different time frame charts. This is how I would view price projections for 3D systems out here. So you can see one of the wider ranging bars that you're going to find. Assuming that it stays this way throughout the day. But you were talking about the monthly chart. So I had punched this up just before we came on the air as I saw the question. And this is how I would be taking a look at it. And that is this. There is a clear consolidation pattern. The only thing that you and I have to make a determination of with regard to the consolidation is should the top of the consolidation be the high from May of 2017. That's at 2370. It's 2370. One of the numbers. What did you give me here? You used 2370. So you're using that as the level. But if you take a look at the trading session from August 1st, from the month of August, and that high is at 2178. So here that would give us at least 2 touch points. And so the question, so I don't know which one is correct, but why don't you just kind of take a look at it from a conservative standpoint? And so you've already got the 2370 out there, and you're asking, will it head to the 33? You're using like a 1.618 expansion, I believe, of your set of swing points out there. And not that you can't use that, but since you've already done that, what I want to do is give you what my eye sees. And my eye says, so you've already identified that 2370 level as an area of resistance, and price is trading below that. So if price can close above, whether it's 2370 or if it's correct, and I don't know if it is, but this is what my eye would use. That's the August high. and that's at 2178. That then gives us a measured move consolidation breakout, and that says that 3D Systems would likely head to the 3784. Granted, it's early in the month, but you also have to understand, when we take a look at this chart, it is should be also very clear to you. I would think it might be clear to you if we just simply disregarded the profiles, because the consolidation pattern was set up before today's move. But what's interesting, Hector, here is when we take a look at it, it's been a nice gigantic move, but why did price stop where it did? Right? It's part of this consolidation pattern. It hasn't broken out as we speak just yet. When we'd have to go take a look at some short-term time frame charts. In fact, let's do that for you. For some reason, my white background charts aren't picking up today's price data for 3D, but that's okay. It's not doing on daily, but it is on the 30-minute time frame chart. Okay. Well, although, what the heck happened here? Let me see something. Let me try to reload all this historical data on this chart. No, it loaded itself for me. So on a 30-minute time frame chart, well, now it's going to reload everything. The tools, there we go. So on a 30-minute time frame chart, I've got a potential wave number 7 that is up. Don't have a TD9 count out here. So, but a pullback, if price continues to pull back, the level area you're going to be watching for is about 1906. I'm not saying that it happens today necessarily, but you would watch on a short-term basis, you'd want to watch that. That's the oscillator and change line. And close below that would say, hey, we're headed back further. So just simply come back to this chart here. You've been holding it for a long time. And I would certainly adjust my stop. And I would certainly adjust my stop based upon the fact that this has been trading in consolidation, and there's no guarantee that it's going to be able to break out of that consolidation. In fact, I'd almost be willing to take my profits now and go ahead and reopen that position at a slightly higher price, say it close above 2370 out there. So just something to consider. So you've got two different price levels. You've calculated one as 1.618 expansion. I'll show you where my expansion 1.618 is. I imagine it's going to tie into yours, but we would use that swing point that you were using and then come down to the swing point low. The swing point low would give us about the 4273. No, that's the 1.2. So the expansion there, and there's not an A to B equals CD. So I want to make sure, because I'm not sure. I think you're looking at an A to B equals CD pattern. And there is not an A to B equals CD pattern here, Hector. There's just not, at least when I look at the monthly time frame chart. Probably I could find something on a daily time frame chart. But for our purposes, maybe you were looking at the A to B equals CD. Here are the expansion areas. And the 1.272 expansion area, where there could be resistance, would be 28.88 and then 35.46 after that. But I would say the consolidation pattern is the one to really be focused on. So hope that helps you out, Hector. Thanks so much for writing in, and best of luck to both you and Patty on this trade. Johnny D writes in, and Johnny wants to take a look. He said last week in one of your shows you mentioned that one should avoid the banks. That's correct. As you know, the banks have rocketed up, yeah. What are your thoughts at this time on the banks? So it really depends. So it really, the XLF or a specific bank, Johnny, it really depends on, and my reference there, and thank you for bringing it up, was more of the long term. So if you're a trader, if you use stops, a whole different area. But if from your long-term portfolio, I said avoid banks. I said avoid all kinds of government debt out there. Absolutely. Those and digital currencies. Folks, the fat lady hasn't sung there, and when she does, it's not going to look pretty. We'll be right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Do you have broken or unwanted jewelry, diamonds, watches, coins, silverware, and other collectibles that you would like to turn into cash? Tiger Precious Metals and Stones will pay fair market value. We make it easy to turn your precious metals that are sitting around in your house into cash. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 and he will walk you through our safe and secure process. Andy has been in the business buying and selling precious metals for over 15 years. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking Johnny in North Carolina is asking about the banks and what do they look like right now. So we're going to use the banks and use the XLF, the sector inside the S&P 500. Right now you've got the XLF trading out at 3105. Here's what we know about it. Price trade above the top of its daily, above the top of its weekly, and with inside its monthly profile. Bullish in structure, and price has basically hit its objective or is very close to it. The high so far has been 31.26. 31.38 is the top of that profile. There's an A to B equals CD pattern on a weekly basis that gives you a price projection of 31.82. So I would say that, Johnny, if price can clear the 31.82, closes above 31.82, that would then set up a run for the 1.272 expansion. So here's the A to B equals CD pattern, a clear A to B leg, a clear retracement. In this case here, it was nearly 50%. And that would give us a price projection of 34.36. But the first area is about 31.82 to 31.38. Now on the daily time frame, and I'll pull over this white background chart out here, and I had to reload. I forgot to reload it though. My other white background charts, and hopefully it doesn't screw anything up when I do this, but well, you can see it's loading at least on this screen, but it'll get to the other screens. In any event out there, it just wasn't picking up the current data, and I don't know why. But here's what we do know. Here I've got to use a number of manual tools where I've got things automated on my other system. So on the daily time frame chart, we don't have any type of a signal of a top. You're going to be in day number 3 of a TD9 count, so that's 5-6 trading sessions away before a potential signal might come in place out there. So on the daily time frame, this is suggesting that it wants to at least fulfill that objective, that A to B equals CD, on the weekly time frame. Now switch over to the weekly here. The oscillator and change line is going to still be set to daily, so don't ignore that. When we take a look at the XLF on a weekly basis, it is in bar number 9, Johnny. And we know that this pattern doesn't always, but can identify tops and bottoms. And therefore, if the XLF is going to make a peak, so to speak, then that high or that peak should come this week or next week if this is going to be a topping signal. So knowing that you got the completion of the A to B equals CD, you're back to a prior high, you're back to the top of a monthly profile, it just suggests caution out here. In other words, I wouldn't jump in knowing that you're so close to a potential area where price could turn back down. Not that we have the signal of that, but just the normal, hey, you're back to a prior high where price fell out of bed. So I would just be careful. Don't have a topping signal on the monthly time frame. You're in bar number 7. So, Johnny, I hope that answered your question. But if not, right back in, and we'll certainly get right back to it. We had another question coming in inside the Tiger's Den, this one from Peak D. And his question is, which of these two trades has the higher conviction? Is it Mosaic or is it FireEye? So let's go take a look at Mosaic. MOS is the ticker symbol. Oh, I guess that would help if I actually turn on the data feed. Okay. Sorry, folks. Multitasking and sometimes maybe not as complete. But Mosaic, MOS is the ticker symbol, trading out at 27.38, above the top of the daily, weekly, and monthly profile. So Peak, we have to put that in from a profile standpoint, no resistance. Price should continue to move higher. So we've got that. So, and you're going to have to keep track for me as to which one has the higher conviction. But we certainly like no resistance ahead. Doesn't mean it can't find it, but we certainly like from our chart standpoint being able to take out that resistance. And Mosaic this week has taken out the top of a profile. Of course, it's only Thursday, but any close above 2370 accomplishes that objective. If we look at the A to B equals CD pattern out here, the week of October 5th, there were 23 million shares. The week of November 23rd, when that was passed, was with 26 million shares. So that's a nice conviction for an A to B equals CD on an intermediate term time frame. And that gives us a price projection. The 1-to-1 price projection out here, Peak, is going to take us into the 29.71. I want to expand this chart out here, and I will ask you this question, because I know that you were also listening to yesterday's show. And during yesterday's show, I shared with everybody out there the importance of maintaining the C to D leg, the C to D angle. It must match completely the exact angle of the A to B leg. It must do that if you want to be able to use this tool for proper interpretation. So, Peak, I ask you this question. Is the move along the C to D leg now stronger or weaker than the A to B leg? And yes, you are exactly right. I heard you answer that, even though I really can't. But it is stronger. It is on the left-hand side of that C to D area. And that is the giveaway. There's a second giveaway here in Mosaic. And that is take a look at the retracement. And if you look at the retracement, it's less than a 0.382 retracement. And so all anybody has to really do to understand the strength behind this move is to take a rubber band, wrap it around your finger till it cuts off your blood, back it off just 31%, let that go. How much energy is there? You see, folks, a normal B to C retracement of the A to B equals CD pattern would be a 62%, a 0.618%. And so if you wrap that rubber band as tight as you did the first time and backed it off 62%, which of the two has more energy? So the retracement level on that B to C is really important. That does not mean, and Peak and I understand this, that does not mean that the move higher can't end at any point in time. What we're using here are tools and probabilities. The probability is this will go on to complete at least a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. So that's 29.71. That gives you $2. But really, what we're looking at says what? This is not a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the upside. This is a 1-to-1.272 or more likely a 1-to-1.618. And so let's use the conservative one. That'd be the 1-to-1.272. So you got $33. So you got another $5 on top of where it's trading right now, at least, or certainly 38 getting back to those highs. That is what the weekly chart here from Mosaic is telling us. So I would have to say that the Mosaic chart is compelling. You use the word conviction out here, but Mosaic is communicating to you and I that it wants to move to higher ground. Now, is there anything that could get in the way of that? Well, I just want to look at the daily time frame chart out here. So just pull that up because I don't recall, but I want to recall. Only in day 6 of a TD9 count. So like the only thing that would jeopardize what you and I looked at is if this gap down and created an island top tomorrow. And if that's the case, then we would come back and we would reassess. But right now, Mosaic looks pretty good. Now let's go see about the other instrument you wanted, which was, I believe, was FireEye, F-E-Y-E out there. And FireEye, here we can see, is trading above the top of the monthly, above the top of the weekly, but with inside a bearish structured daily profile. So right there, Peak, wouldn't you say, based upon just simply the daily activity and understanding where resistance is, versus taking a look at Mosaic where it was free of resistance out there, and it still is in the process of completing an A to B equals CD, that this is the higher conviction trade, just simply from that standpoint. At least that's what I would say. We've looked at FireEye in the past, maybe not you and I, but I already had an A to B equals CD pattern. You can see this has made the 1 to 1.272 level. You can also see this is a 46% retracement. So this is another good example. It's like as if you fed this to me, which I know you didn't feed this to me, but we were just looking at, hey, what's the importance of the retracement level? And making more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, the strength of a move out there. I'm not saying this doesn't have conviction, but to answer your question, I like Mosaic better. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back. Dow's up 202, S&P 50 points. Let's continue with the questions that are coming in. We've got 4 in the queue right now. The first one here coming from Jerry, and Jerry's looking for an entry into CLNE, Clean Energy Fuels Corporation, which is up near its prior high. The prior high I'm referring to is the one from December 23rd. That high out there was 1075. You're at 1071. The volume there on December 23rd, obviously a light volume day because of the Christmas holiday, 54 million shares. Today you're at 13 million shares. Today's not a holiday. So this is suggesting that it's going to reject price. Now, I don't know if it will or it won't. Watch that price close. A close below 1075 says, hey, you've rejected a swing point. Maybe that sets you up into a consolidation. So if that is the case, what we know right now is the bottom of that consolidation area may be around the center of its bullish structured profile. So your entry into clean energy fuels, at least just looking from our swing point test analysis, and then looking at the market profiles, understanding where the buyers are. Buyers, by the way, inside of clean energy fuels are at 685 to 750 on any kind of a pullback. And so really, Jerry, that is your entry area. We don't have any indication yet that price will be able to pull back into that level, but I would also not suggest that you chase this right now, especially based on taking a look at today's activity and December 23rd. Now, price is moving higher, doing less relative energy, not a problem, unless a bear reversal candle forms out here. Don't know what the future looks like, but that's a possibility right now. Another level is Stevie's oscillator unchanged line. That's currently at the top of that daily profile, which is 880 out there, but I still believe the better entry would be in that 750 level. So I hope that helps you out with regard to clean energy. No reason for you or I, Jerry, to take a look at the weekly and or monthly time frame chart. So let's go to the next question. This one coming in from Chris B. And Chris wants to take a look at Powwow, P-O-W-W. That's how I came up with Powwow. And that is P-O-W-W. This is Ammo Inc. Well, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Out there, I'm assuming that they're out of stock. But let's take a look at Ammo Inc. Let's first understand the question. Crispy, Happy New Year, Steve. Happy New Year to you, Chris. Thank you very much. Here is one you likely haven't looked at. That is true. I am in it, and you're up 50%. Nice job. For now, I'm going to stay in it. Can you give me your analysis on POWW? Sure. So the charts right now are suggesting that you stay in it to win it. Why is that? Well, if we take a look at the daily and the weekly and the monthly, prices above the top of the profile. Now, what you're really looking for, Chris, here is tomorrow, you'd love to see a close above the top of the weekly profile. That's $4 even, Steven. You're only at 402 right now. You'd certainly like to see a close above that. What happens if you don't see a close above that? Well, you will fail to take out a resistance level. That's all that means at this stage of the game. We'll take a look at my other chart, see if we can get any better feel here. But you're above all those profiles, and so you're above resistance, and you would want to stay with this trade. If we use that weekly time frame chart, or in this case here, let's use the monthly. Let's use the monthly time frame chart. Just curious whether or not the swing point has been, well, shoot, let me back up this monthly chart here like this. Okay. So the swing point out here would be the month of August 2020, 1.6 million shares. And when that was passed last month, it was 39 million shares. So, Chris, on a larger term time frame, on a monthly time frame, you have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. So let's try to scope that out. Now, I'm going to use as my swing point the low from December of 2019. I'm going to use the high from August of 2020, and I'm going to use the low of October of 2020. You can see here that the 1-to-1 level has already been attained. Like I was asking Peak earlier, and he already knows the answer to this. He already knows the question I'm going to ask, which is the move along the C to D leg stronger or weaker than the A to B leg? And absolutely, the answer, it is stronger. And so this is suggesting to you and I that even though this is made the 1-to-1 level, this is going to do more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the upside. The second element, that is the retracement. The B to C is only 53%. Again, less than 0.618. So a little bit stronger energy, not as strong as obviously a 0.382 retracement out there, but still strong enough to suggest this ought to make it up to 464. Maybe it's 537. Again, this is long-term out here. We'll take a look and see if there's anything to be of concern with on the daily charts out there. But yeah, this is simply confirming your conclusion out there. So this is the daily time frame chart, POWW. Let's go ahead and actually get the right chart up on the screen. This may take just a few moments to properly update the data. Yeah, okay, now we're updated. So what do we see out here? From a wave count, let's go ahead and put those in on the system out here. So not a wave count issue, so to speak, to deal with. Price did yesterday move higher with less relative energy. Not a problem unless you get a bearish reversal candle. We don't have that as we speak right now. So the daily looks pretty good. The weekly, let's go ahead and populate this. Bar number 7 on a TD9 count, suggesting that, well, if there's going to be a top, it could be next week or the week after that. So the next 3 weeks, potential. Otherwise, this is suggesting that price wants to target 609. That's the next TD9 breakdown level. So that's what our charts are communicating to us on January 7th. I hope that helps you out, Chris. I'm glad that you're up 50%. The charts are suggesting you're going to have an opportunity to be up more than 50%. Let's go to the next question. Next question coming in from Nick C. Nick says, if you've got time, can you take a look at PLTR? So let's do that, PLTR. And that is Planeteer Technology. So Planeteer right now is trading with inside a bearish structure daily profile. Hit the top of that profile in trading earlier today. 25.16 is the number. It actually got up to 25.19. So it's just consolidating, but it looks like we're starting to see lower highs, and maybe we're starting to also see lower lows out here. The question is, if I have time, could we take a look at it? And you gave me 3 symbols out there. We're going to take a look at this one, and I'll try to come back to the other 2 if we can. So what we've got to do is understand on the daily basis, PLTR, whether there's some type of top out there. And we're not going to really use the weekly or the monthly time frame, not enough data out here. And yeah, there is a Rhodes momentum indicator top. So let's pull over this white background chart out here. No bottoming signal. This is really just suggesting a counter trend rally. We could change our mind slightly on a close above 25.16. If you did get a close above 25.16, 26.95 or thereabouts would be the next resistance level. And that's where price would have to close above to get it back into a bullish configuration. Otherwise, price is below resistance, and I'm using 26.94. That's the oscillator and change line, consolidating with inside a profile where we've got buyers and sellers. We know where they're lined up, but you've got the ultimate buy would be down around 17.54 where PLTR broke out from. There's also an A to B equals CD to the downside. So if we draw that in here, that A to B equals CD pattern actually looks like this. That's really the one that you would draw in there. That would get priced down to the 1889 level. So there's nothing confirmed because the B point hasn't been taken out. But that, in essence, would be the A to B equals CD pattern out there. So, Nick, we've looked at Planeteer out there. It looks to me like it still wants to continue to move lower out there. And if we get enough time in the show, we'll come back. We'll take a look at NNDM and silver. We'll look at silver no matter what, the SLV. We'll look at silver, though, and we'll be right back.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. The chart that's on my screen right now is the March contract for the U.S. dollar index out here. And without these tools, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator tool, the TD9 count, the Chapman waves, without our TAS market profiles, without our A to B equals CD patterns out there, it'd be very hard to navigate this chart. But here, in the Rhodes Momentum Indicator tool, I think one of the best patterns that are out there, not because I named it after myself, just simply because of its impact and being able to help us identify tops and bottoms out here. This is when markets get stretched in either direction. And here we've got the U.S. dollar index, and it's making an attempt. And at 1/4 to 2, it's held up pretty well. Typically, by this time, it will usually give up the ghost. Now, it hasn't completely proven itself to us. What I mean by that is I'd love to be able to see a close above the high of this little sideways move out here, which is 89.96. Does it have to close above 89.96 to generate a bottom pattern? And the answer is no. So right now, what we have is we've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. You've got a bullish engulfing candle. You've got a three-river morning star. You've got a brand new profile that price is trading within. And this is suggesting that the U.S. dollar index is forming a bottom. And if it can maintain this bullish reversal candle, price ought to make its way up to 90.12 or 90.37. Above 90.37 would suggest a change in trend. The real change in trend signal would come with a close above 92.50. But a close above 90.37 would say you're headed to 92.50. So the reason to bring that up, Nick, not that you asked about it, but because of the influence that the U.S. dollar index could or should have on silver, the SLV, which you did ask about, or Goldilocks. So to the extent that you read or hear others tell you that the U.S. dollar is toast, well, I can promise you that those people don't trade the Rhodes Momentum Indicator pattern out there. But you and I do, and we pay attention to it, so we know otherwise. Now, put together the fact that the U.S. dollar index is generating a very important and successful bottoming pattern right now, along with the fact that silver generated another Gartley sell, a second Gartley sell pattern at the same price yesterday. What do you mean, Steve? Well, let's pull over the silver chart. The first Gartley sell pattern took place after we had that big spike. I think this was the virus vaccine. I can't remember if it was or wasn't. Now, 12/21, there was a big spike to the upside. Now, that didn't set up the Gartley sell pattern. It was the following session that generated the bearish engulfing candle to confirm that. That was the first one. Well, guess what? Yesterday was also a key reversal and bearish engulfing candle session out there, confirming a Gartley sell. Now, here's the key. Here is the kicker. And this is what you're going to want to watch. And you're not going to get this exact same analysis if I pull over SLV, because 6.5 hours worth of trading is going to give me poorer information, less information than an instrument that's trading nearly 24 hours a day out here. So this is why, in order to take a look at the SLV, we must take a look at the underlying instrument, and that is the futures contract. Here what we can see is the key level is going to be that oscillator and change line. No, it is not a moving average. So you can't just put a moving average on your screen and say, hey, this is close to replicating. And of course you get close. Why get close when you can do the real Megillah out here? The level to be watching, let's just get to it. Right now it's at 26.80. That number is going to move up and down by a few pennies as price moves up and down, but you can use that as a pretty good guideline. If silver closes below that, then what that's signaling to you and I is silver should go down and test the bottom of its new profile that it is attempting to form, and its profile is bearish in structure. 27.33 is the top of that profile. You're 27.27. A close below 27.33 today is suggesting that this top is in place. So you most certainly inside of silver don't want to buy it. If you had a close above yesterday's high, then it's off to the races to the upside. The upside would be 30.17. But we can't make that call right now, or we could, but we won't because we're not going to ignore the patterns that are in place out there. So this would suggest that silver could pull back to that 25.79 area. So that's what I see when I take a look at silver, and that should answer your question, or I hope that answers your question with regard to the SLV. And that was Nick. Tim writes in, and Tim wants to take a look at WIT. So let me get WIT. Let me get it on my other screen, see if we get that going out there. Give me a moment to get all the way back to our 3 time frames. So what is WIT? WIT, or WIT, Steve-O, not R. This is a YPro Limited, or something along those lines. But here's what we know about it. And Tim is asking, I'm thinking of adding to my position. Where would you say would be a good entry point? Where would you say a good entry would be for a short to middle term investment? Well, this is in full breakout mode to the best of our skills because it's above the top of the daily, weekly, and monthly profile. So the question becomes, is there any kind of topping pattern that might be in place out here? And let's go see if we can answer that question. So we'll pull over my other white background charts, got that system back up and running, and voila. Yesterday should be a top inside of WIT, because it was the bar following bar number 9 of a TD9 count. Now you can also see the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that's present, but no bearish reversal candle. So, Tim, you got 2 options. You've been studying this chart. If this is superdy, duperdy, uberly bullish, that sounds like a Barney phrase out there, then that suggests that your entry point is about 581. It's trading at 594. 581 is the oscillator and change line. If price closes below 581, well, then you're looking at 535 as the breakout level. That would, you're already in this, so 535 would be a nice natural area. I don't know if we'll get there yet. The oscillator and change line would be the tool that would help you to make that determination. On a weekly basis, what do we have out here inside of WIT? Well, my goodness, you also have bar number 9 of a TD9 count. So the weekly is saying potential top. The daily says top yesterday. And the monthly chart says, I don't know what you guys are talking about as far as a top. It did bottom with a TD9 count. You're in bar number 7 out here. You're looking at intermediate term, and I think you'd be looking at the weekly. So do this. Don't add to your position. Watch what happens. As price pulls back, it should pull back into that oscillator and change line around 581. And it closed below that, and you'll know that this should move lower, even still, perhaps 535. And I guess I ask you the question. We don't have the signal that that's going to happen, but it closed below the oscillator and change line. That really increases those probabilities. So if that happens, I don't know where your entry is. Are you willing to ride it out to 535? Because that would be your next entry area. Now, I'm not asking you to answer that for me. I'm asking you to answer that for yourself out there. So I hope that helps you out. You know, on a 30-minute time frame chart, well, you got wave number 7 out there. And not really much has happened since then. But it's still the daily, weekly signals are suggesting to be patient on this one. And so best of luck. Wanda writes in and wants to take a look at Bitcoin. So we can most certainly take a look at Bitcoin. I should be able to do it here too. Now I'm just going to put up the continuous contract. The reason I'm doing, downside F. The reason I'm doing that is so we can get enough data for the weekly and monthly time frame charts. So prices up above all kinds of profile levels up there. So no big deal. I don't know if that's really helping us a whole lot. Let's come over here and take a look at Bitcoin futures. I'll put it in here. BTC should be the March contract, I believe. So let's see how this populates from a daily standpoint. So today is going to be bar number 8 of a TD 9-count pattern. And so Bitcoin is suggesting it could form a top today, tomorrow, or Sunday/Monday out there. That's what the daily time frame chart, Wanda, for Bitcoin tells us. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up by about 200, S&P 52. Victor called in and wanted to take a look at Palantir. Victor, please watch the archive. We spent a decent amount of time on that already this morning out there. The archive of this show should be up I'd say by about 3 o'clock or so. So watch that. In the meantime, we've got about 2 minutes. So why don't we take a look at short-term signals, what's going on, what you can anticipate for the rest of the day. So the ES Mini has made a short-term top. It was a TD9 count pattern out here. It just led to a sideways-ish type movement, price still above the green line. So it's really in a neutral condition. Any move above today's high, close above today's high, not move above it, 38.0325 would tell you that the market should close even higher because that would be a strong momentum move. Short of that happening and that high being taken out, you should see price pull back to 37.74, maybe even 37.55. Nothing wrong if it does that. But we do have a valid top inside the ES Mini. Watch that high of the day. That would be your cue as to what it wants to do. The NQ is probably the one that may be the leader of the pack today. The NQ also generated a TD9 count topping pattern. You can see that out here. Prices now begin to move higher with less relative energy. So if it doesn't take out today's high, and the today's high that I'm referring to is 12.920.75. Now a close above that is going to suggest a strong momentum move to the upside. A close below 12.867 is going to suggest a pullback to 12.812 or to 12.684. So you've got a valid topping signal inside the NQ, but again, watch that high because if price closes above that, that tells you about a strong momentum move to the upside. When I say that, I'm referring to the 30-minute time frame chart. I'm not asking you to take a 30-minute strong momentum move and then apply that to somehow the weekly, the monthly, or even the daily. On the 30-minute chart for the Dow, a TD9 count top and a Rhodes momentum indicator top. And this is suggesting to us, because price is below the bottom of its profile and below the oscillator and change line, that 37.91 is where it is targeting out there. And there is no topping pattern inside the Russell. So watch those three things intraday. They should help you out for the rest of the afternoon. But of course, stay tuned for 2 more great hours. And please tune in tomorrow on Fantastic, Fabulous Friday. But have a thirsty and terrific Thursday. Take care, folks.